So we're here with Chairman Barry Finegold. Thanks for
Thanks,
chatting
David,
with us.
sure.
And let's talk about the wind bill. Tell me what the goal of it is and where it is in the process.
I mean, I think the biggest goal is to get this state to use less carbon-based fuels and to get to a point where we're using renewable energy and to get to a place where we get to 20% of our energy to come from renewables. So right now it's over in the Senate, and we're hoping that it'll come over to the House, but it's a very important bill that we want to get done, and we think that even though we're a very progressive state, as far as wind permitting, we're behind.
We seem to be way behind in that. Yeah. And what is it is it just sort of years of neglect or regulations that haven't been updated, or what is it that's caused us to be there?
I think what it is just a concern of losing control, and what we've done is we've kept local communities to have the control, but what we're doing is that instead of having years and years of appeals in the courts, we say if your local board approves it, if you want to appeal that, you can go to the citing board. If you want to disagree with the citing board, you can go to the Supreme Court, and then that's it. So
yeah, so a much more streamlined set of
Yeah.
appeals in the process. Do we think that? Do you have a sense that there are wind projects sort of waiting to happen that are stymied, or that people aren't even starting with?
We have a lot of people that come in here and they talk about what they like to do more wind projects, which not only would be good for the environment, but also good for the economy, would create jobs. And they're like, well, we don't really feel comfortable with regulations you have in the books, because we've heard about what's happened with Cape Wind, we've heard about what's happening out in Western Mass with another wind project. So, for the state that was really first to do healthcare, the state to do gay marriage, to the state that really was the first to really ban smoking, as far as our environment, we need to do better.
And that passed some great environmental bills in the last session.
Yeah, I mean, the green community is a fabulous bill,
yeah.
And it's a great laudable goal to try to get to 20%. But if you don't have the tools out there to get more wind, more solar, then it's going to be incredibly difficult.
Mm-hmm. Has it been heard yet in the Senate, or is it kind of on the docket somewhere?
I don't know if they've actually brought it up yet, but I think it'll be soon. We have reported out of committee favorably.
You have in the Joint Committee has.
In Energy, Telecom, Public, we have reported out favorably.
Yeah, great.
So I do think we will pass it, and I do think that I'm hopeful that this year we'll get it on the books.
Terrific. What are some other highlights in your committee that you're hoping are going to happen by the end of this session?
Well, we are working on the bottle bill. It's something that in the past people in this chair have said absolutely no. I'm not no. I'm open. What we're doing is we're talking to a lot of people in the environmental community.
And this would be to expand the deposit on water bottles
water
and so on.
And sport drinks.
Mm-hmm.
And the one thing that we want to make sure there's not over redemption, meaning that people from other states are bringing more bottles back. And we want to make sure that doesn't cause job losses and things like that. But the biggest statistic that's out there is that if you put a nickel on a bottle, 3 out of 4 of them get recycled. If you don't, 3 out of 4 go in the waste stream. So we have to solve that problem, and I'm hopeful that we will solve that problem.
Mm-hmm. Anything else that's on the docket that you think the Blue Mass Group folks might want to keep an eye on?
Well, I mean, some of that we was called really light pollution, trying to have less light being projected into the air, and we're trying to have, believe it or not, when you can just put like a little shield over light, that can save so much, not only energy, but in the area of light, light pollution. So I think that's important. But really, just really a lot of energy projects. We want to, there to be more smart grid technology. Have people just use less power. I think it's incredibly important. We want there to be more green projects out there. One of the things that we've been working on is the idea of this whole statewide green taxi cabs, where we're a little different than the city of Boston is with the bill I filed, is we think that it's less about whether you have a hybrid car, but it's more important that you're in the top echelon of fuel efficiency vehicles. So, if you have a hybrid Escalade, that's not better than having a Corolla. So what we think for commercial passenger vehicles, that it should be in the upper echelon of, let's say, the top 20 cars are the most fuel efficient cars. should be what you get to, choose to be your taxi. So we're trying to do things like that as well. So.
And we were talking before we went on the camera just about the general problem of communication in this sort of fractured media age. And do you have any thoughts just on how folks who maybe don't read the paper regularly but who like to come to the blogs might and are, let's say, internet savvy, might be able to keep up with the work of what's happening in the community?
We try to update our website, barryfinegold.com, on a regular basis. But I mean, the best thing that people can do, if they hear something on the blogs, email us, let us know what's on their mind. Because one of the things that people make a big mistake is they think that we sit around all day and come up with all this great policy. A lot of the stuff we come up with is because of people's ideas. People say, have you ever thought about looking at this way, or this type of solar panel, or whether it's some other type of renewable energy. So the best thing I think people can do is, if they want to come to our website, but if they have ideas, we love to hear those ideas. One of the bill we just passed was dealing with accountability for public utilities in the central part of the state, really, greater Fitchburg. There was, people were out of power for over a year, but the reps in that area, Benson, DiNatale, Hargraves, Senator Flanagan, Representative Rice, came to us and said, hey, we have a problem here that this one public utility was not being accountable. So we just passed a bill that for the first time we could actually put a public utility in receivership. Once again, that came out of a storm and out of reaction from the people of the greater Fitchburg community.
So there, even in this fractured age, there remains the hope for dialogue.
Absolutely. No, dialogue is critical.
Yeah.
The best thing we can do is listen.
Yeah.
And listening is just as much through email and blogging and communicating with people.
Great. Well, thanks so much.
Sure.